Welcome back to another live from Norwegian woods. Once again, I'm your host, Ulf Hockness Gray from whitewolfalchemy.com and ulfhocknessgray.com, which is my new website for what I have been studying the last 2 years. Um, Gestalt coaching, the Gestalt method, which is absolutely amazing. And I can't even put it into words just how much it has changed me as a father, husband, son, brother, friend, and also healer, coach, teacher, event holder. All aspects. The whole peanut gallery that is the multidimensional of has completely changed, and become more present and aware with myself, my surroundings, and the dynamics and patterns and things that are playing out for me and around me and with people. Because I used to be this person who had this idea of having a core self, right? You had a true self and an authentic self. But what I've come to find with in Gestalt, they don't believe in that at all. They believe that you become, um, together. You become um, a different version of yourselves in the meeting between you. And when I'm with my son, I um, when I'm with my eldest son, I am one father to him. When I am with my youngest son, I am another father to him. They don't have the same father, even though I am the same person and they are brothers, um, because they have different needs and because they are different ages, so they experience me differently. And I am not the same with my wife, as I am with other women, of course. I am not the same with my mom as I am with my sister. I am not the same with my various friends. Um, so I get to experiment and explore who it is that I become in the meeting with you in a whole different way than I ever was able to do before. And my ideas of authenticity has completely changed. So we can be authentic to ourselves, um, you know, and that's the most important thing. Be true to ourselves, true to our own core needs, true to our ethics and values and all of that. But I can be a different person with different people and still be authentic. But they will experience me differently because they are bringing different aspects of me out of me, in a very, very beautiful way. I'm seeing this playing itself out. Um, so yeah, I'm very, very excited about what I have learned about relationships, about relating to one another, and how relating better to one another as people, as partners, as father and son, as son and mother, and all these different, you know, relationships that I'm blessed with in my life. And then also, especially with you in my community, I'm seeing, when when someone comes to me and then we sit across from one another and we begin to create this shared unified field. I was speaking about that a lot in a whole different way, but we create a little shared field, um a situation together, a field, um which carry phenomena and energy and bodily communication, um, and various contact forms, which, in Gestalt explain what's going on in the field between us. So let's say someone's coming in with a lot of thought and they're talking, 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 talking. Um, you know, I, I used to say that people were in their heads a lot, and I would struggle to get them into their bodies. But now I know that all of these contact forms, they have a polarity. And so if someone is in this polarity long enough, the other polarity will appear, and um, then it will kind of um, balance itself out. And we can stretch one polarity in ourselves, for example, like in a shadow aspect, some shadow work, and we're all in the light. Um, and we're completely in denial of this part of ourselves. So um, this becomes known to us, and we can stretch our personality and stretch the self, as Joseph Sinker says, and then become more whole as a person by integrating the unconscious and shadow. So um, that's what I've been doing. I've been integrating more of what was unconscious for me. I've been integrating more of that which I was in denial of. Um, I was very angry at the spiritual community. I was very angry. Oh my God. I was very, very angry. So I had to kind of like examine this anger and frustration. And I realized I had been looking at it the, the wrong way. And so my perception was being saturated and colored by uh, my perspective, right? So I was looking at it in a completely different, and completely wrong way. Um, yeah, of course, there's all kinds of um, fraudulent behavior in the spiritual community. Yes, there's a lot of drugs and fake this or that and whatever. But as long as I was focusing on that, I kept seeing more and more and more and more of it. It just kept growing, until that's all the spiritual community was for me, was this um shyster, druggy hippie crap, and I can see it now. It's still there. It's still very much present. It's still very much a part of the spiritual community, but um, I don't bother with it anymore. I'm not gonna, you know, it's they're doing the best that they can with what they got and with where they're at, and they're gonna have their own growth and their own journey, And I don't need to mix with that. I don't need to associate with that just because I am in the spiritual community. There's lots of other, sober spiritual people, and very, very few of the, how should I put this? Um, Spiritual warriors who have given up the devotional part of spirituality, which is kind of where I'm at. Like, I do not want to give away my power. To put it blunt and short, I do not want to give away my power. And so, who I become with the strong notion of not wanting to give away my power is um, a person of power, right? So that's mainly it. So I'm seeking other people who are seeking to be people of power and personal power, not power of others, but personal power, personal um, integrity, strength, intellect, um, philanthropy, doing good for communities and creating a legacy. That's, so, and I know you're watching right now, and that's what you want to do too. You want to create a legacy. You want to create something that lasts beyond you and your immediate environment. You want to leave good things in this world that lasts beyond your life, beyond your lifespan. And yeah, that's why we're probably also attracted to me and what I'm about, what I want to do, you know? So here we are. Yeah. Yeah, man. Um, this Gestalt stuff, it had me in process. It had me in deep, deep process for 2 years. Like, my wife was not getting the best of me at all times. I had a trajectory, positive curve, but I was coming home tense as all out, super, activated, to put it mildly, super activated, super um, in my just triggered, easily triggered, and but I was talking about it, sharing my process and working through the triggers and being able to put the Gestalt theory and curriculum onto the process that I was going through, so I could explain, this is what happened. These are the wounds that were kind of activated and triggered. This is what I'm going through. Um, and a lot of it was, just old stuff that I had been working on for so long, but still there was remnants of those traumas that needed to be revisited, because healing's not linear, healing's a spiral, so you come back around on a loop. Oh, there we go again. Got to heal that same shit again. Oh shit, here it comes again. Heal that same shit again. And then it gets a little bit better and a little bit better each time until you get, to the center. So instead of spiraling out like Tool, we're spiraling in to the core. That's what we're doing in the healing process. We're spiraling in to the heart of the matter, you know, and so yeah, I experienced that, and yeah, it was rough, absolutely rough, but and each time we go to school, you know, getting kicked in the face, super activated, super triggered, group therapy, group traumas, group this, group that, nowhere to hide, all your shit up on the table, kind of might as well be transparent and authentic with it, and use your real shit in the studies. So I went all in, you know, but every time I went to school, came back, like I've been in the ring, you know. And then that shit works. That shit absolutely works, It did wonders for me. Um, and in a way that only therapy and only um, individual therapy can do, and group therapy, because you kind of have to have both. You can heal a lot in isolation. You can heal a lot, licking your wounds and being in the sanctuary. Um, but you kind of have to find a community. You have to um, heal with others in order to fully heal, because nothing will activate you like someone's shit that's in your shadow self, so there's something that you're not aware of, and these people are triggering the shit out of you, and you're like, oh, you know I don't like these people. I don't then trigger the F out of me. And then you come to find, oh shit, I'm triggering me. There's something in these people that are within me that I am in denial of. Oh my god. So okay. So, I had I learned that um I have certain allergies to certain kind of people that do some kind of express in a kind of way that um, feels like an attack, feels like a threat. And I puff myself up and, like talk some shit. and then and then I realized that, oh my God, this person, I'm I'm just like that. I'm just not aware of it. Uh, I'm just like that. Oh, that's why they freaking annoy me so much, So yeah, the spiritual community, annoying the hell out of me because I was just like that. I did exactly the same things, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, that was me. That was me, and I'm still I'm still upset about that part of me for being so naive, gullible, duped, ignorant, arrogant, you name it, I was all those things. Oh my god, easily fooled. dupe, you know, duped. Hook, line, and sinker, like, oh my god, so he's telling me that this is the most specialist crystal in the world? I can manifest, and I can only get it from you? All right. So you telling me that you can help me sign a contract with all the archangels to help me fight this spiritual battle? If only I do this attunement with you? Oh my god. So you're telling me I have a special Pleiadian name? And only you can give it to me? And it's in light language? Take my money! Take my money! And then, lo and behold, it wasn't even no fucking special name. It was like Gregory or something. Your name is Gregory, Pleiadian Starseed. Like, what? What? You telling me I'm Gregory? What the fuck? It could have been like something fancy at least. But fucking Gregory? What? I'm Gregory Palladian Starseed. Oh, I can't. So yeah. I had an inflamed mental body back then, dude. I had an inflamed mental body. And I thought I was communicating, with beings, and I was special and all that beautiful stuff. You know, I was working with angelic energy in the Reiki modalities, and good stuff. I was one of the 144,000, you know? Oh my God. So special. Yeah, man. So I was duped. My ego heard everything it wanted to hear. I'm special. I'm not like the others. Everything that they bullied me for was valid because they weren't me. You know, I'm a star seed and I'm a light worker. I have a mission. I have an assignment. All of these things, and yeah, I believe we come in with um, a mission in our blueprint. Absolutely, but take it easy about that stuff. you know ground that thought. Okay, I have a mission. Doesn't need You don't need to put a fucking cape on and special goggles and shit, and you know have a special name. I need a new spiritual name. The old one isn't working for me. So I need to be like Hupta Hula Hula Hoo. That's my new spiritual name. Hupta Hupta Hula Hoo. And I'm from Uranus, inner Uranus, like the inner Earth people. Are you sure there's only matcha in this tea? Oh my god. Yeah. It's good to hang with you guys again and shoot the breeze, you know. It's been a long ride. What, I'm not checking for the time, I'm checking for the year. Hold up. Yeah, so it's 2026. It's been almost 15 years, hopping up on my soapbox and talking about my experiences, in one shape, form, or another. So yeah, I'm feeling some type of way about all those changes and putting down a lot of what I picked up from the new age community that no longer served me anymore. But I still believe that I am part of that galactic family that keep flying up in the sky with the ships and all that stuff for sure. You know, I think we're going to be included in that galactic community fairly soon, unless they do some, you know, fake alien invasion. Who knows? But yeah, I believe that. And I believe that I hold the Sacred Union template in my blueprint. Call it Twin Flame or whatever. I still believe all that. And I'm a Toltec warrior, fighting for my lucidity. All of that. 100%. But can we ground that? Can we ground that way of thinking and make it a grounded spirituality? Now that's the key, you see? Because if we're all hopped up on starseed fluff and um, not grounding our thinking, then we're running around with inflamed mental bodies, which a lot of the spiritual community is. Now, let's not mistake that, right? A lot of the spiritual community is running around with inflamed mental bodies. Now, what does that mean? They have inflamed thinking. And what creates their inflamed thinking? Their belief systems, right? The way they think, and what they believe, and the way that those belief systems shape their reality and their perception of reality. So I was very blessed to work with Mel Brand, who made my own inflamed thinking visible to me, um, so that I could start to see it. It triggered the hell out of me in the beginning. Like I was like, no, 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 no. Mm-mm. But then I was shown by my higher self experiences and things that proved it to be right. So I had to put those belief systems down, put it to the acid test. All right, all right, yep, doesn't hold true, and let it go. Did another one, yeah, okay, didn't hold true either. Let that go. So more and more of these new age belief systems that I had stolen and borrowed from the new age community was chipped away and put in a box, no longer serving me. And what I was left with was eventually very, very little. Um, so you can tell what's inflamed thinking by the way that it makes you feel, right? If it makes you feel like you're giving away your power, your personal power, then, right? So let's say, and if it's making you a little bit delulu, then it's inflamed thinking, right? If you can If you can't go a day without making it about angels, demons, making it about, you know, some kind of paranoid thinking, then it's an inflamed mental body. And not to say that we don't have inflamed mental bodies in our popular culture and in society as well. If you believe in politics, that, okay, if I just vote for these people, they're going to save us. It's going to be okay. Inflamed mental body. If you believe, you know, um, in the God's chosen people, that's a good one. Pretty much inflamed mental body. If you believe, um, if you believe somebody is more worthy of being in creation than somebody else, you got inflamed thinking, inflamed mental body. If you're full of fearful belief systems, you have an inflamed mental body. And so, how can you reduce the inflammation in the mental body? And you probably have inflammation in the brain too. A lot of us do. I most certainly did. You know, and it's not in the way that you think. Um, it's not like a brain inflammation that has you needing urgent medical care. It's one, of a different character where you can walk around with it with maybe a inflamed mucus membrane. Um, some people have crisp mucus membranes in the brain after certain activities, especially if they drunk gallons of soda a week. Now that shit will, you know, the carbonated drinks go to your brain and they turn that mucous membrane into a potato chip. So all those physical symptoms, they will make themselves known from the spiritual, from the energy. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, the inflamed thinking is in our society as well, where Kim Kardashian, um, Botox lips is beautiful. Uh, the beauty ideals of Western society is inflamed thinking. This stuff, for example, brands. If they have a print with a brand, name brand, then it's worth more than the knockoff brand that's inflamed thinking. Just some examples. Um, of course, the quality of these clothing items, they differ very much, but absolutely ridiculous to pay $2,000 for a Dolce or Gucci, whatever. Then you got inflamed thinking, right? All right. So yeah, what can we do about that? Our inflamed thinking. Well, we can detox. We can do saunas for the physical aspects of it. And remember, we always have to go at it mind, body, and spirit. So, um, In the physical, we do the detox, we do herbs support, like, lion's mane is great for the brain. um, Other neurological medicines, herbs, medicinal herbs. um, then we have to heal the energy. We have to clear the energy that is in alignment with our inflamed thinking. And then, of course, uh, for the mind, you would need to meditate. No questions about it at all. Meditation and contemplation. Like, am I bullshitting myself? Is this bullshit? You know, am I full of shit? Is this full of shit? Is this bullshit? Is that bullshit? Is this bullshit? Are they bullshitting? Yes. So you're going to be like, bullshit, 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 bullshit. Most of that shit is just going to fall like a bunch of dominoes. Once you put them to the acid test, doom, 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 doom. Every one of them. Everything. Sorry. Everything. Everything. All of it. You're probably going to be left with 5%. 5% of everything that you believe. 5% of everything that you've invested thought, energy, money into. All of it. And then you're going to be left with a lucidity that can't be beat. A lucidity that can't be beat. A lucidity that, they don't have as devotees of a deity. A lucidity that they don't have practicing, this new age magic. And you're going to have real magic. You're going to have personal power. You're going to have lucidity. And when you have that, you don't really need to pray to no deity. You don't really need to give away your power or ask for, angelic support. That's not gonna, you're not gonna bargain with demons anymore. You're not gonna bargain with shit for shit. You got lucidity. You know that you're at the source of creation, creating your reality. And, you know, so yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the Toltec teachings and what they have done for my spirituality. May not have gotten me a lot of friends. It's a cult of one, as Mark says, and couldn't agree more. A cult of one, and that's no cult. You're here on your own, working with your own challenge of existence. And maybe you have a community, online community, because we are few and far between. But mostly you have to learn how to rely on yourself. Mostly you have to learn how to um, utilize, your will, your talents, gifts, and traits, and you're juggling. Right? I've said that before. You're juggling 8 balls. That is your life. This, your physique, your money, your partnership, your kids, your job, your, you know, um, lucidity, your stalking, your spirituality. You're juggling like a motherfucker, right? Ah. And then your higher self comes and throws you two curveballs. Pew, pew. And you're like, "Ugh," and you drop two. All right. God. You pick him up again. All right. Drop one, a different one than you dropped earlier. All right. So you got to start at the beginning almost with that one because, you know, but then eventually we learn to juggle those 12 balls, you know, all of it. And then higher self comes and throws us a ball to balance on. You're just like, fuck gravity, man. Oh my God. Yes, I was in talk with someone today and he said something about, uh, the master of balance, you know, he doesn't ask for balance. He doesn't ask for everything to be balanced. He's a master of balancing. So he understands the balancing act and learns to balance that shit, you know? It's like a few years back I said I really 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 wanted to learn how to fix guitars so I could fix my own guitars, and I buy a new guitar and it bends all kinds of ways and that wood, the guitar has been assembled in a country with probably 60% humidity and then it shipped here to Norway and we have a winter of maybe like 20% humidity and you can imagine what that would do to the woodwork, right? So I got a guitar that needs fixing. And so I got what I wanted. I got what I wished for. I wanted to learn how to fix guitars because I'm not going to pay 150 $200 for each and every one of those guitars to be fixed when I know that it takes some minute tools and tweaks and things that know that I can do myself if I just learn how. So I'm learning how. I'm learning how to fix the guitars. So I should have, you know, be careful. Be careful with what we state. All right. Yeah, man. Like kids who grow up in the same house have vastly different childhoods. Absolutely. Damn proud of you too, my brother. Absolutely. We don't know what we don't know until we come to know what we didn't know. Yeah. And to be gentle with ourselves for not knowing and to be gentle with others who don't know. And it's not our job to shake and bake people awake. Not at all. So we got to let them have their journeys with their inflamed thinking and inflamed mental bodies. But once they realize what we've realized, then they can come here and check out some of the thinking that's going on in other camps of the spiritual community where we are challenging the belief systems that we have stolen from other people. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here with me, and um, the sessions that I conduct and do have changed fundamentally. And I look forward to you guys coming in and seeing what we can do now with the gestalt that I apply to these sessions now. It's a whole different way of contact and connection, and yeah, I'm really excited. And got student loans to pay off now. I was like, yeah, I should get more income, get more money. Yeah, maybe I should study. Boom, indebted. So now I'm $25,000 in the hole. You know, and got to go online and talk more shit. Got to go online and make that dough. So you'll be seeing my mug here a lot more on this thing because, you know, daddy's got to pay off the student loans now. So, yeah. Thank you guys for the love and support. And have a beautiful weekend. Um, and remember, at least, at least you're on your way to lucidity. That's where it's at. You're working your way to lucidity. More and more lucid every day. More and more aware of your own bullshit, society's bullshit, and experiencing less and less bullshit of your own. Now that's, you know, more than we can say for the spiritual community. Oh my God. Yeah. Um, knackered, as they say in the United States, of awesome. I'm gonna give that 100. Thank you guys for hanging out with me.